guys, today's video is a toning hair for beginners. And I'm not a professional or anything, so again, like, don't take everything I say as professional advice, but I do feel like I have a somewhat good knowledge just from my own experiences. Basically what I'm going to be doing is like answering kind of basic questions about toners and toning, but before we get into that, I want to show you a hair level chart. So typically the hair levels go from 1 to 10, 1 being like black hair, and 10 being like very light blonde hair. So I would consider myself a level 10. There are in some instances like a level 11 and 12, and those are for people with like bright white platinum hair. So this hair color chart shows the undertone to which is in those different hair levels. So if you are, for example, like a level 5, 6, 7, you're going to have more of those orangey tones when you try to bleach or lift your hair. That's going to be the undertone. If you have like level 8 and 9, it's going to be more of like a yellow color. If you have level 10 or higher, it's going to be like a very pale pastel yellow. So that is really important when you are, you know, deciding on what you want to use for toner. So along with this hair color chart, it's really important to know like your color wheel. And I think most of us know, you know, the opposite of red is green, the opposite of yellow is purple, the opposite of orange is blue. So keep that in mind as well, because that'll come up later when we're talking about what kind of toner that you should use for your particular situation. Okay, so what is toning? So toning is neither really darkening or lightening your hair. It is specifically just changing the tone of your current hair level. So for example, if you are a level 9 and your hair is like kind of yellowy, because that is the undertone of a level 9, and you put a level 9, because that is the current level that you are, so if you put a level 9 hair color with a purple undertone, a purple base to that color on top of your level 9 yellow hair, the purple in theory will counteract the yellow in your hair and just change the tone. But because you have level 9 hair and you're putting a level 9 color on it, you're not lightening or darkening it, you're just changing the tone, and that is so important. And it's not just bright blondes that can tone their hair, and I think that's a huge misconception. If you have like a level 3 hair, which is like kind of a dark medium brown, and you think it shines too like orangey reddish in the sun, if you put the same level hair color, another level 3, for example, with a like ash base, ash is typically a greenish color. So if you put a dye that is, again, you have a level 3, you put a level 3 color on top, you're not changing the lightness, darkness, the level. All you're doing is counteracting the color in your current level of hair. So the next question is, what kinds of toners are there? So in the cases that I was just talking about, those are like hair colors, and I think the most popular toner is using a demi permanent hair color. So I feel like the word toner isn't really a thing because it's more about the verb, like to tone, toning your hair, because you can use not just toners to tone hair, if you know what I'm saying. A lot of salons use demi permanent hair colors as toners. They don't use things that are specifically designed to be toners. I mean, that's not the case in every salon. Just in my experiences, like a lot of salons use Redken Shades EQ. That is a demi-permanent hair color gloss type thing. It's not specifically a toner. It comes in all kinds of colors from, you know, dark brown to light blonde. And then there are hair colors that are labeled as toners. At Sally's you can buy the Wella toners, the very popular Wella T18, but they come in a whole range. So those ones, not in every case, but for the most part, are meant for like lighter blondes. So the thing with demi-permanent colors is that they use 10 volume developer, which is none to very little lift. All it's really doing is depositing color on top of the color that you have, just enough to change the tone, like I said. The Wella toners themselves call for 20 volume developer, and that's because obviously the higher the developer, the more lift. In this case, the wella toners don't really lift your hair that much. It's more about really penetrating the hair shaft and making it more permanent. To my knowledge, the higher the level, the higher the lift, but also the higher the level, the more permanent the color is. I mean, I guess to clear that up, both of them can be used to tone hair. Obviously 10 volume is less damaging. With the wella toners, even though they are a higher volume, they don't really lift your hair, so don't expect if you have orange hair to put a toner like a T18 toner on it. It's not going to make your hair platinum just because that's what the swatch looks like. You have to remember swatches in, you know, in Sally's, in the stores, are done on like white hair. If you don't already have super light blonde hair, I think you should opt for the demi permanent option as your toner. So the next question is, when can I use a toner? And you can use a toner if your current color has like faded to like a weird, you know, brassy color, or just a color that you're not in love with. And you can also use a toner immediately after you lighten or bleach your hair to a certain level. So again, once you bleach your hair, like look at the color chart, for example. Just Google it. There's a million different ones on Google Images. So just match your current hair to this chart, and if you're really orange, you know you're probably going to be like a level 6, 7. If you're like golden to bright yellow, you're probably like an 8, maybe a 9. So just like match yours with that level chart so you know what to use. The good thing if you wanted to use a wella toner is they usually say on the box like this is meant for pale yellow, this is meant for yellow, so you definitely have to be those levels to get the best result from those products. Otherwise, like I said, totally recommend a demi permanent color. Just pick the same level of color as the same level that you currently have, and if you want to counteract, again, if you have yellow hair, choose something with a purple base. If you have orange hair, use something with a blue base. So the next question is, how do I use toner? And everybody's situation is so different, so it's really hard for me to answer this question. I get asked a lot, like, can I use toner on my whole head, or should I just put it on the areas that are lightened? For example, if you have like ombre or sombre. So I think if you're using demi permanent color with the 10 volume developer, you don't have to worry so much about, you know, being perfect and not getting it on your natural hair. I would say try to avoid your natural hair and just get it on the lightened pieces or the pieces you're trying to tone, just to the best that you can. I mean, with a 10 volume, you don't really have to worry so much because it's not going to like lift your hair or change it all that much. If you're using a wella toner or a toner with a 20 volume developer, definitely try not to get it on your natural hair color or on hair that you don't want to tone, because a 20 volume will lift it just a tiny bit. I've done that before where it's like just like made my roots, like I accidentally got it on my roots and it just kind of made them like a smidge lighter and like kind of brassy looking. So try to just focus it on the hair that you're, you know, using. A lot of toners also call for to be used on like damp hair. Wella toners, I think most of them say use on, you know, slightly damp towel dried hair. At the salons, most of the time they're putting demi permanent color on your damp hair in the sink. But of course, if you need more coverage and you want it to last longer, and you're not scared of it going like a little bit more toned than maybe, I don't know, maybe than what is recommended, then you can put it on dry hair. But I think for the most part, using it on damp hair is the norm. Another thing people ask me is, how long do you keep it on for? And again, that is totally individual. Everybody is different. If you have really damaged hair, like really dry hair, especially if it's like really blonde, I would leave it on for less time than what the directions recommend, only because dry and porous and damaged bleached hair can soak up toner like too much, and it can turn your hair like purple or gray or just basically overtone it. If you have like really healthy hair and it's not as light, I would say leave it on for the recommended time, because you don't have quite the risk of a light blonde damaged bleached hair to overtone it. For me personally, when I get it done at a salon or I do it myself, it's usually only left on for like 5 minutes. But of course, just remember that toner does wash out. Even the Wella toners that say they're permanent on the box. They are definitely not permanent. I've used them several times. They tend to wash out after some time, so just keep in mind demi-permanents and toners, they're not permanent. So if you don't love how it turned out, just wash your hair a bunch. A lot of people swear by using Dawn dish soap or Head and Shoulders like anti-dandruff shampoo that's like a little bit more harsh, just to like help fade the color. And then another thing I wanted to mention is that toners aren't just meant for, you know, banishing the brass or getting rid of yellow or orange hair. Like, a lot of people like to be a golden blonde, and if they feel like their hair is too ashy, I mean, you can totally use the opposite, you know, formula to get you to like more of a golden blonde. And also remember that you don't have to, you know, if your hair's not super anything, it's not super yellow, it's not super orange, and you're not looking to really counteract it, you just want to like fix it up a little bit, you can always just put like the same level hair color in like a neutral color, just to like, I don't know, change it up a little bit, but not totally counteract it, like if you don't want to go from one extreme to the other. So I hope that this helped. I definitely want to just cover like some of the basics. I'm sure I forgot something. If I have, I will list some additional like little tips down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Please subscribe to my channel. I am really proud of what this channel is turning into, and it's all thanks to you guys and watching and being so supportive. So thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.